For joining us for tonight's post-game press conference. We'll open things up with a statement from head coach Dan Munson.
Well, I mean, after 6 straight games canceled and the disappointment yesterday of not having Fullerton, to get back out there today was just great. I mean, some of the, nobody's played since before Christmas, and some of them been in quarantine during that time, and it showed, and that's why we played the game. It showed that we were a little bit rusty, that our timing was a little bit off, and we've been practicing pretty good, but it's different. It's just a different pace. It's just a different feel to go from practice to a game, and obviously it showed that we needed it, and hopefully tomorrow it'll be a step for tomorrow and play better tomorrow and be able to compete against one of the best teams in the country. What a great opportunity for these guys. I think I lectured them before the last game that the seniors will never get to play at UCLA again. And they take advantage of it because it's a once in a lifetime experience. And here we go, we get a second. They get to do it again. So, we got to look at the positives instead of what all the adversity that the COVID has given us. And Cullen and I talk about it all the time. Some of these guys their careers would be over without the COVID, and they wouldn't get another chance to play at UCLA without the COVID. So we're looking at those positive things, and I was just happy for our guys to get out there and get a sweat up against another team. And we did some things well and some things poorly, but I think we'll learn from it and move on.
All right, we'll open it up for questions.
Coach Munson, Matt Simon, 562. Obviously, it's been a whirlwind the last few weeks. You guys haven't played a game in over a month. Can you just talk about what your expectations were? And did you temper those expectations tonight, knowing that the guys haven't been out here? And just what was it like just being able to have the guys come out here and go up against another team?
Yeah, I think I tempered my expectations. I'm not sure our guys did. They got a little frustrated that they weren't, that they were making mistakes that they don't normally make, and they weren't getting in rhythm. And but that's good for them. They need to understand that, because I've been through this before. The next game back from Christmas is always a tough game, let alone 3 weeks after or 2 weeks after Christmas. So if you look at the Power 5 teams in the country, most of them will play a very easy opponent coming back from Christmas because you've had finals. You've had a break, they've been home, and it's just hard game to do. And you couple with us having 4 games canceled between now and then, and I knew it was going to be like that. But you don't want to tell your guys, hey, you're going to be rusty and it's going to look ugly tonight. You don't want to say that before the game. But so I think they were taking back a little bit of some of the careless things that we did. But hopefully tomorrow we can clean some of that up and play harder. I thought we looked like a deer in the headlights a few times, after balls and stuff. And we're going to have to obviously go tomorrow. But they haven't played since before Christmas. So, we're a leg up on them. And hopefully it'll be their turn tomorrow to be out of rhythm.
Ignacio Cervantes, freelance reporter for Coach Munson. You did mention that it was important to look at the positives from the things that have been going on the past 3.5 weeks. For example, in today's game, there was a good amount of spans where guys like Colin and Manziel were moving the ball really well and putting the ball in the basket. How important is it for Long Beach State for guys like them to get those streaks going every game and improve their shooting and improve the ball movement that you see on the court today?
Yeah, if we would just make simpler plays and not have so many turnovers offensively, we have so many ways to score. And Cullen broke that game open offensively, but our defense did too. I mean, we had 5 straight possessions where we fouled them, and they went to the line, and they were struggling to score, and we just give them free throws. And that's really hard to get a rhythm and get going when you're taking it out of the basket and not scoring your defense. And then we got 5 straight stops, and Cullen hit 2 or 3 buckets in there, and it goes from a 10-point game to a 20-point game. So, I think our guys have just got to hang their head defensively more, because offensively we have too many guys like Cullen that can go break it open from that end. But what we've been doing too much this year is Colin will make that basket, and then we'll go give up a three, and trading baskets when if you just get a couple stops in a row and rebounds, you can go on some runs because this team's got a lot of ability, spurt ability is what I call it, ability to get some spurts going.
This question's for Colin. Colin, you guys spend New Year's in Bakersfield. Then you guys have to turn around and come back home. You guys are supposed to play Fullerton. You guys have to come back home. Just talk about the frustration as a player and just being able to come back to the mid and be able to play tonight. Not a full stands, but just getting back on the court against another team.
First and foremost, like, people lose their lives over these viruses. So it's a blessing to be able to, have all my teammates back, even though we weren't able to play at times. And it got hard. But at the end of the day, it's a blessing to be here. You know what I mean? And I'm so thankful that the coaches have really been particular with us on moving in the moment and enjoying the fact that we could still practice and we enjoy the little things and have opportunity to go out there and play. Before the game, I just told them, regardless of how this goes, just be thankful we're here. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people aren't. And
for Colin, so it's been 3.5 weeks, like we've been saying, that since you guys have played a competitive game. But today, you played all but 10 minutes. If you could maybe explain a little bit of how you felt out there, despite maybe feeling fatigued from not playing for so long.
It was a little bit of soreness, but like I said, coaches get into us in practice. You know what I mean? To prepare us to play. And certain teammates are like, hey, man, you're going to need to play a lot, so you need to make sure you get every single rep you can, and they'll sub themselves out so I could get extra reps and stuff like that. So it was a little bit of soreness, but we're ready to do what we need to do.
All right, Colin, this is my last question. So 6 consecutive games. Did you guys ever get the mentality of when are we going to play again? Did you ever have doubts when it was going to happen? And what did the team as a collective kind of do to stay motivated and just, stay hopeful that you guys will play? And 6 straight is kind of a lot to just continually have games canceled on you.
Oh man, there was a lot of moments where it was challenging. You know what I mean? And we would literally, after games, we get canceled, we'd meet up and sit together and talk. You know what I mean? It was the main thing that we just kind of stuck together. And we were like, hey, dude, I know that we're all frustrated. If we want to hang out with somebody, let's hang out with each other. You know what I mean? And hence, we haven't had any new cases or anything like that. We're making the sacrifices. You know what I mean? So as we continue to see each other take those steps, we don't want to let each other down. You know what I mean? So the frustration's there, but we're hopeful with each other.
This one's for Coach. Coach, we did mention how we have a big game against, or a big non-conference game against UCLA tomorrow, but the big one on Saturday is the start of the conference play for Big West. Maybe if you could just talk a little bit about, your expectations on conference and maybe what Long Beach State needs to do in order to succeed this year and maybe make a run in conference.
Well, like I told our guys, we got to keep getting better. I don't think any team right now is playing at the level that they're going to win 3 straight games. And maybe Irvine had the best preseason, but they've been in COVID and they've shown vulnerability in games, and so it's going to be the team that improves between now and then the most. So these games became critical for us. We thought our preseason was done. You talk about our league opener. We were scheduled for our league opener to be at Cal Poly. And then we talked about, our league opener is at Bakersfield. Well, guess what? Our league opener is at Fullerton. And now, guess what? Our league opener is we have a home opener against Hawaii. We can't control that. So what I'm focusing them on is just getting better, and so when we got the call yesterday, and I just got to thank Andy Fee and our administration and everything, because when we got that call, these guys were, 6 straight times. I mean, and to their credit, they went out and started practicing, and by the end of practice, we had 2 games for them. And you need the support of your administration to say, we're not worried about the money of it. We're not worried about the logistics, and just the mentality of our department, You know how much work it is to turn around and host a game that you didn't know you were having for our facilities people and get referees here and all that kind of thing for these guys. And so we're just trying to cherish that kind of thing and understand that just playing today was, as he's saying, it was a gift, it was a blessing, whatever you want to call it, and we're gonna get better from it. And tomorrow, if that game goes off, we're gonna get better for it. And if Hawaii comes in here on Saturday, we need to be the best team we can be to open up our league. And obviously, if we were gonna play like that at Cal Poly, it would have been difficult to open there, but we didn't. So we're going to take advantage of this extra time, these extra 2 preseason games, and get ourselves at a level that we want to be on Saturday.
And final question for Colin. In the second half, Westcliff had it down to 6 points, ended up being a 26-point win. What did you guys do at that point in the second half as a team mentality-wise to turn things around?
Defense. You know what I mean? Coach challenged us in the huddle. He was like, hey, you guys really want to win this game, y'all going to have to get stops. And it starts with 3 in a row. And he was kind of preaching it all game, but at this point, we were looking at the score, and it was, I think a guy caught a cramp or something like that. And then he looked us in our face like, hey, this is your decision on how you want to go about this. And we were like, come on, we got to dial it up. You know what I mean? And thank God it happened, and we can continue to get stops like that.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep, thank you.